Hello. Hey. How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? Sorry about that. We've been running all morning. I thought I was downstairs when you got here, but she texted me and I didn't get it.
All right. It's all right.
I was downstairs, but you here with her?
Yes, sir.
We're together.
Come on.
Wish we could have met you under better situations.
No, it's okay. Come on. Oh, man.
And I have met you in better situations.
Tell me about it. You got me ripping and running, man. You know, just I was doing 1,000 different things this morning. I was clear when I spoke to you. I was clear with everything, and then all of a sudden, you know, everything just went haywire. Oh man. Let me get the head right quick.
That's his wife there, right? Michelle.
Where?
In that picture.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And
She's
she's-
Michelle. All right.
Yeah, but she's tall.
Yeah, she is. Chief seems pretty tall, and she's unless she's standing up on something behind him. Maybe she's like on the steps at like the podium or something on the
Maybe.
stage. Because if not, she'd have to be like 7 foot tall.
I like that one, Stamp Out Pride. It's pretty cool. With the reefer behind it. I love it. I like
So
that
you got to meet
picture.
the first lady, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, is she really that tall or what?
She had on heels, but she's tall.
Jesus.
Yeah,
She's up there.
I got a picture with both of them because I had he had a luncheon out at the Hotel Coconut Grove in Gables. What's that hotel? Biltmore.
Biltmore.
Yeah, my son bought a table.
Nice.
All right.
And
The football star.
Yeah, well, yeah, he had the money. I couldn't buy it. He bought a table, and I took Mayor Wallace and Mayor Warren and a couple more people went up there. And me and my daughter and my grandson took a picture with him. And when he came out of the room, it was like we was talking. So he was telling me, he said, thanks for helping me out. I go, what do you mean? He go, you're police chief and you're in uniform and you're taking a picture with me. He said, you just don't know how big that is for me at the time. And I went like, okay, well, I'm with the president. I said, you don't know how big it is for me.
Yeah.
So he told me, he said, can I do something? I go, what do you want to do? He was trying to grab my grandson and pick him up and put him in his arms and say, this is where I want to take this picture. So he took a picture with my little grandson there
Oh,
in
kitty.
his arms. Me and my daughter standing beside him. He took 12 shots,
That's awesome.
12 pictures, different poses and stuff, and
Yeah.
sent them all to me. So I got out of the house. I brought it and showed it to the people here, but they were like, staying with the president of the United States and his wife?
Well, he's a good politician because the first thing he does is grab the baby.
He sure did. I knew that. That's right. I said, that'll work, won't it? That'll work. Yeah, man. But I took a picture with him too, and
I thought it was your wife when I first looked. But,
Oh, yeah.
I'm slow to.
Yeah.
But then I said, oh, okay, she looks familiar.
she's tall though, man. Because she was in there, and her heels were maybe they were 4 or 6 inches heels, But I can tell you right now, she's probably good either 6 feet.
Yeah, I was looking at that picture. I was like, man, she ain't standing on something behind him. She got to be almost 7 foot.
Yeah, she's tall. She's tall.
Yeah, she's model material there.
Yeah, she's tall, man. She's 50 years old. I'm like,
Wow.
she look good for you.
Man, I hope I look that good when I'm 40.
Oh, I hear you. I want to see this guy about this. I better stay here. But anyway, so what's happening? Other than, I hope it's something I can take care of for you.
Yeah, well, I think it is. I've been trying to deal with this for a while. We probably should have had a meeting maybe a year or so ago, and
Wow.
but I've done a lot of things trying to deal with this, and I'm kind of at the end of my rope. I was hoping that you'd probably be able to help me out because this is pretty much my last stop before I end up either at the gun lobby or the ACLU or writing a book or at the media. And it doesn't need to get blown up no bigger than it's already getting blown
That
up.
bad?
Yeah, I got kidnapped out of my house because of one of your officers. I'm not putting this on you. I'm putting this on him.
Yeah. Pick it up out of your house.
Well, from my front yard, he made false statements to Miami-Dade, and they came and arrested me without a warrant. They wouldn't tell me what they were arresting me for. I don't believe they had any probable cause to arrest me, even assuming his statements to be true, which he completely lied and perjured himself, and I feel I have good evidence to show that he perjured himself. I feel he retaliated against me for First Amendment freedom of speech, and then I tried to make a complaint against him, and I called in January of last year and left a message with Internal Affairs saying that I felt that multiple felony violations were committed against me under both federal and Florida law, and I wanted to come in and make a complaint. On 2/28, this officer files a restraining order against me. In his restraining order, he states that I contacted IA and he was advised to file a protection order against me. Then a month after that, Detective Aquino calls me and tells me he's returning my phone call from several days earlier when I had called him for more than 2 months. I don't know Detective Aquino. I don't know much about him. Maybe he was confused or something, but I have to feel he was lying to me. The whole conversation, it just gets ugly. I got more evidence. That I feel I have more against this officer than the FBI had against Al Capone. And I don't talk shit. Excuse my French. Little background about me. I'm born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. My dad split my mom when I was about 2 years old. My mom's high school dropout, working as a waitress, raising 3 kids. Graduated in '96 from high school, went to community college, got my associates in applied science, making glasses and contacts. Told everybody my whole life I was going to live on a tropical island one day, and everybody said I was going to be stuck up there with all those rednecks for the rest of my life. And 3 or 4 days after I graduated from community college, I threw all my clothes in a duffel bag and drove down to Key West, so I proved them wrong. Lived there for a year, then went back and got my bachelor's. I majored in chemistry, biology, physics, mathematics, optical theory, and got my equivalent of a master's in organic synthesis. And then I came to University of Miami and got my PhD in chemical thermodynamics and kinetics. I worked with MIT and Los Alamos National Labs. I know 3 Nobel Prize winners personally. I'm now a primary patent examiner for the United States Patent and Trademark Office. I more than max out what's legally allowed, the GS scale. I have authority to make legal negotiations on behalf of the United States government. My wife is also a PhD biologist. She is the head fisheries biologist for Biscayne National Park. And, you know, if this officer would have gotten away with his lies and everything against me, he would have destroyed that and taken it all away from me, and I'd be on the street flipping burgers with no wife and no house and no kids. So I figure I'd try to give you as much information as I could to make your job as easy as possible for you. So, this is Officer Murguido, who I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yeah. Now I kind of remember something now. It was a while back, but I remember something now.
These are 2 things I can give you. You can keep copies of this. This is from his employment at Hialeah. That first page just shows completed internal affairs investigation where he had retaliated against people and wrote 3 tickets maliciously. The next thing that's stapled also has that included, but has many of his other violations that he committed while I was at Hialeah, including making about 6 false statements to his supervisors. One day he was supposed to go to court for a serious domestic violence case that he had responded to where the husband had stabbed the wife. They called him several days beforehand, told him he needed to go to court. He said okay. The morning of court, he called his work in sick, called the state's attorney in sick, then went and worked an extra duty job, and when his supervisor called him about it, he lied about it until his supervisor showed him the time card where he went and worked off duty. He's done that several times. He's had problems with judges, almost got held in contempt for his attitude towards a judge. He's overreacted to the public. This all started because of his driving and his behavior. I was concerned initially for the safety of myself and the children in my neighborhood. I've seen him run through the stop sign in my neighborhood at 20 to 30 miles an hour. He's almost ran me off the road. I've seen him pass people not coming in. This is outside of the Homestead's jurisdiction.
He lives out there.
Yeah, he lives on the same street that I live on.
Okay.
And I've seen him pass people without his lights on, where people coming towards him had to pull completely off the road and come to a complete stop not to have a head-on collision with him. Another interesting thing I want to say just before I forget is, so I live at the corner of 199th Avenue and 324th Street. Mm-hmm. He lives on 324th Street west of 202 Avenue. For 6 years I've lived in my house. I always see him, you know, if I'm out on the street or something, he goes to 202, turns on 202, and takes 202 to Mowry and brings Mowry in. Last Friday, he drove past my house on his police motorcycle, gunning his engine and chirping his siren. And I went out to the street to get a picture of it, and I guess he got to 199th and 320th and just stayed there for a couple of minutes. I'm pretty sure he probably saw me taking a picture of him. I feel that that's either an attempt to intimidate me or to provoke me into do something.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Sure.
Let me get, I want this. See if Thomas Reverend in his office.
Copy?
Yeah, thanks, I appreciate it. Tell him to come down if he's in the room. Is Tony King?
And we only got a little bit more time, and I'm sure you're probably busy, but I wanted to give you some stuff, and if you want, we can meet again. I have a whole lot more information. I just want to try to get you as much so you could kind of start digesting it. I didn't want to come in and bring you office boxes full of stuff to digest.
So where we at on this? Because I got a sergeant that's over the traffic unit.
Well, here's something else I think you should find real interesting. This is his polygraph examination he took to get a job here at Homestead, and you can see where I put the little star. He says that he denied ever using illegal drugs in his life. But if you flip over to the next page, is his application for employment, which is several months later, and he said he used to smoke pot. Now, I'm a federal government employee, and with us, if we get caught lying on our employment application, even if it's 20 years later, we get fired on the spot, that moment. Game over, doesn't matter. I also believe the guy's a sociopath. When you look at the polygraph, there's several things in there that are lies. Other ones I can point them out, but it says that he shows no sign of, lying, which makes me think that he can lie. Either he knows how to beat a polygraph, or he can lie without shame because I'm right and he's a sociopath.
Well, I've been, since he's been with me, I've been definitely. These guys know how I operate. I don't play games like that. I don't play foolishness like people treat everybody right, do things the right way. Of course, I remember now this happened outside the city, so I don't know what the county did.
Well, I have all that. I give you.
But I don't tolerate that foolishness like that, and all of them know that. I don't play no games. I want people to do their job, but you don't mistreat people. You don't mistreat anybody. I don't play that kind of stuff, and I need to know exactly what's going on.
The Wednesday before Halloween of 2012, I was coming up 197th Avenue, and I got to 320th Street. It's a stop sign. I came to a complete stop. I turned right. As soon as I made my right turn, I looked in my rearview mirror, and I saw Officer Murguido behind me in his unmarked car. He must have been coming east down 320th, so I'm coming this way, he's going that way, he ends up behind me. He was tailgating me so severely, I felt if I just let off my gas, he was going to rear end me. And then he was tailgating me, and then he kind of got to where he's there's no line there, but if there was a line, he'd been straddling the line. And then he kind of did this maneuver where I thought he was pit maneuvering me, so I swerve off the road. He passes me, passes the car in front of me, and a car that was coming towards us, completely 100% dead stop, completely off the road. Both tires past the shoulder. Did not have a head-on collision with this officer. That was the Wednesday before Halloween. The Monday before Halloween, I was walking down my street, and I saw him in his front yard, and I motioned to get his attention because I wanted to talk to him about that. I want to be real honest with you. In 2012, that was in October, I have not had any contact with the officer since then, and from that incident, I had not had any contact with the officer since 2009. There was another incident in 2009 where I saw him run through the stop sign. I drove past his house really quickly just to write down his license plate because I was going to file a complaint. He saw what I was doing. He's like, "Can I help you?" And I said, "No, sir, I've already got everything I need." He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I've seen you commit multiple traffic violations in the neighborhood. I'm concerned for the safety of the children. I'm getting your license plate so I can file a complaint." And he came up and to the passenger side of my car and puts his arms on the windowsill and it's like, "Well, come on, we're neighbors. Can we talk about this like gentlemen?" And then he continued to beg me not to file a complaint against him. When I ended up leaving, I kind of felt sad for him. Also, my best friend I grew up with is a police officer. I have 4 or 5 other friends that are police officers. I don't know if you know Wayne Cox. He's the officer who recaptured the Shenandoah rapist, the serial rapist in Miami, back in about 2005, maybe.
And
then they made the movie Bad Boys 2. It was made about him and his partner. Well, he's a good friend of mine. We used to be roommates.
Oh,
So I know he's tried to portray me as being anti-cop or anti-police or have a hard-on for police. That's not at all true. I want to give you this. After I got home that day, I wrote a transcript of the conversation. That's the exact conversation me and Officer Murguido had.
He'll be here in 10 minutes. He's not in the building.
Okay. You want to wait till you get in or no?
No, we can keep going if that's all right with you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks, Carl.
To be real honest, I'm not sure I really trust him either. He told me some things I don't believe are true, and he was supposed to call me back. Sergeant Sherman.
Oh.
Yeah, the only reason I'm here talking, the only reason I'm not at the FBI
I'm
talking
going to tell
to
him
the
don't worry about it. Let me
Okay.
tell him not to have him come in. Because I'll talk to him about some of this stuff. Call him back and tell him, call him, don't worry about it. Tell him disregard it. All right. Thanks.
I try not to be real paranoid, but I've had a lot of people lie and make stuff up about me, so and I've had a lot of people in this department say things to me that are untruthful, so I really just don't trust them.
So, you remember all this? Or you just...
I have an uncanny ability to memorize things.
Oh, because I'm saying this is so detailed, you know. I'm like, wow.
This is the sworn statement Officer Murguido made on 2/28 when he filed a petition for injunction against me. The first major paragraph at the top that says on or about December 22nd, that's his version of this event.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I'd like to point out is he says December 22nd there. It actually happened on October 29th. And in the police report, because he also filed a criminal complaint against me, he says October 29th, where there he says December 22nd. In that, the second incident, which was really been the first incident, he said happened in June 2012. In the police report, he says happens July 27th, 2012. I have at least 8 witnesses that will testify in court that actually happened in 2009. So, I mean, this officer has almost made this stuff up near out of whole cloth. There's just like 3 things I agree with in there, and everything else is a lie.
Well, let me ask you a question. Just a couple of things.
Sure.
Where are we at with this? With you? I mean,
so
if something happened. Did you get arrested or something?
yes, on 2/28 he filed the restraining order.
Okay.
I got served with that on 3/6. 3/7 I surrendered my guns to Miami-Dade Police Department, and I hired an attorney.
Okay.
We had scheduled. My attorney had called Officer Murguido to try to schedule to do his deposition, and Officer Murguido told my attorney to go through the court liaison office.
Okay.
My attorney went through the court liaison office. Murguido agreed to a date for the deposition. 2 days before the deposition, he called and canceled and said that he had to go to, I think he said, one time he said he had to go on vacation, one time he said he had to go to a doctor's office.
Okay.
He called my attorney back to schedule a second deposition. 2 days before that deposition, he canceled the deposition. Then the day of court, he missed court, so that was dismissed against me. I'm not really sure why he thinks this is fun and games and I'm spending thousands of dollars on attorney fees and he can just do whatever he wants, but I don't find that to be very professional. On 2/15, he filed a criminal complaint with Miami-Dade Police Department. That led to me being arrested on 4/15, 2012.
But I mean,
Or in
yeah.
2013,
I
2013.
know. What was the complaint? Because I know anybody can be arrested for probable cause because that's what it is. But what did he actually get arrested? What you get arrested for?
Well, about 6 or 7 hours after I was arrested, when I was at TGK, I was handed my A forms. I had asked them at least 8 times what I was being arrested for. Every single Miami-Dade police officer refused to tell me what I was being arrested for.
What?
And I don't know. That's why I'm thinking that's a clear violation of 901.17 of the Florida statutes.
Yeah, they could have told you whatever it was. They could have said. They could have told you what it was. I mean, it's no secret if they had a reason to come out and arrest you, and they had you said a restraining order or something. They had
No, what they arrested me for, they didn't. I asked them if they had an arrest warrant, and they said yes, but they did not have an arrest warrant. They lied to me. I really believe they were doing it in an attempt to retaliate against me or to terrorize me. And I feel that since they didn't have probable cause, it makes it kidnapping under Florida Statute 787.01. This is the police report from that day. Miami-Dade responded. You can see in that it just says a neighbor dispute. It was heated, settled on the scene. I advised that if I had any further problems, I'd come to the Homestead Police Department, which I did. And, I mean, everything should have been settled there. I don't know why the officer waited 4 months to file against me. And in his filings, he says that he knows I was trying to make a complaint against him. That's the only reason I can understand is this is retaliation for my right to petition for redress of grievances. What they actually arrested me for was aggravated stalking and corruption through threatening a civil servant, which was then dropped to simple stalking and 2 counts of trespass, which is funny because I've never entered his property in my life. And then that was just dismissed last month. No, in December it was dismissed.
Okay. So this really okay. So this is just a report, offense incident report.
Yes, sir. And in that it says that Lieutenant Johnson was contacted. I couldn't find any record in Homestead of this incident, and when I called Lieutenant Johnson, she was not aware of it or could not tell me anything about it either. And she said she would give me a call back, and also Sergeant Sherman was supposed to give me a call back, and they weren't. I have a nice timeline I'm going to give you that has most of this documented in it. What I do for the government is I pretty much argue with $500 patent attorneys for a living, and I eat them for breakfast.
Oh. Okay.
Like I've memorized almost the entire Florida statute code, the federal codes.
Wow.
I bet you I've done something that I doubt more than 2 of officers in this department have done.
What was that?
Read the entire 735-page SOP manual you guys have.
Probably have.
I do my homework.
Wow.
This is the criminal complaint that he filed on 2/15 against me. I never said I was going to get him, but even if I did say I'm going to get you, that's not a credible threat of harm. I have plenty of federal case law on that matter, particularly. I mean, you can read the statement. I told him that the next time he did it, I would report him. The last 3 times I hadn't.
Well, I'm trying to figure out that something was going on because you all kept bumping into one another. So
We had several bump-ins in 2009. We didn't have any. Well, he also harassed my wife and did some funky shit to my wife. And I saw him one day on 320th, and I thought he was running radar, and it looked like he was pointing his radar outside of his jurisdiction. So I rode my bicycle. I went home and rode my bicycle up. I wanted to take video of it just because I thought he was outside of his jurisdiction. When I got back up there, he was gone. So I stopped on my bicycle for a minute. I smoked a cigarette, and a black gentleman comes up to me and asked me if he could bum a cigarette for me. I was like, sure. I gave him a cigarette. I was like, can I ask you a question? He's like, what's that? I was like, did you see the officer here that was on a motorcycle? He's like, yeah, I saw that motherfucker. He's here all the time harassing people. Like, you know what? Last week, he pulled over this white lady in a white pickup truck, and he was talking to her so bad, I told myself if he said one more word to her, I was going to cop a charge and go knock the motherfucker out. I was like, thank you, sir. That was my wife. He's pulled over Albert and harassed Albert. He's harassed Albert's employees. He's harassed Albert's sister. He's harassed Albert's sister's employees, all outside of his jurisdiction. Pulling him over on farm-use vehicles, threatening to arrest. One time I was with his sister when Officer Murguido did this.
Mm-hmm. Hello? Hey. Yeah, he gone. It was one guy there that he didn't speak that much English. But he went through the whole house, and I even told him that, you know, I ran some things by him and told him some stuff we were looking for and everything, and he said that he was going to take a piece of the he was going to go next door to his store and get a piece of the tile that Trail has, and going to do a sample piece for us and then bring it back and let us look at it, and if we like it, he can do the floor. But he's supposed to send you an email of what the price it is to do the whole house and everything. But you know, just I don't know. I couldn't. You know, like I said, unless you see something, you don't know what another guy gonna do like he did in Arizona. But I try to make him understand that the stuff that I'm sure I had in Arizona was the same thing, and they made it look nice. So he's saying that once you do it and everything, it should last for 10 years or more, you know, and stuff like that. But I still hadn't seen anything. No, he he also told me that it's supposed to look like his countertop. You know, he showed me the countertop in his room, which is granite. And you know, I'm listening to him and everything. But like I said, you know, I don't know whether he's gonna do it or not. But I'll look at that piece when he come down if we decide to do it. But the best thing I think about doing between you and I is let him do that piece that he get from there. I told him to go next door to one of the places next door and just get a sample piece of the tile we are paying for it and take it and show me how he will make it look. And then that way we can go up there and look at it instead of him coming down here. And if we like it, we can tell him to come down and do it. Well, no, it's the buffing and yeah. The holes. Yo, he said he'll fix it. No, he said no problem. He can fix those. That's easy. So yeah, that's easy. So he said he can fix all. He said he can fix the holes. The holes. He said the holes. They fill them with stuff and they take it and do something to it to make it rise up and they polish it up and everything, make it look good. So he said that's no problem with that. But I wanted to see whether or not. As a matter of fact, when in the email, you can let them know. You can talk to somebody at the store and let them know that when he do that piece of marble with that trail guy in his house, we'll come up and take a look at it. That way he don't have to come down and show it to us. And then if we decide we like it, then we have him come down and do the whole house like that. Well, I don't know if they're going to try to, I don't know, you know, he ain't making like it was no big deal. I don't know what he's going to, they push to the side and just do it and put it back, you know, I don't know how they're going to do that. But he didn't make, I know, but that's something we got to talk you. You know, we got to talk to somebody else in the store because his English wasn't that great, and you know, he was kind of understand what I was. Yeah, but I really didn't get into it with her. You know what I mean? Because she did a little work for me, but I didn't want to get into that with her because I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So she interpreted a little bit for me, but not a lot, because he could speak a little bit, but I was just. My biggest thing was to him whether he can fill the holes and whether he can make the floor shine. And he said yes. No, because but like I said, that's why I didn't want her to deal with that. That's why she came over there and said something to the man and everything, and I kind of let her talk to him and ask me a couple of questions, but then I kind of like let her go, and because I dealt with the guy, because when I walked in the door at 20, she was already talking to the guy, and I didn't want her to really keep going because I didn't want her to feel comfortable about doing that, so I kind of handled it myself. That's why I say it was kind of piecemeal. But if somebody in the office speak English, you can talk to them and translate that to them, and then you can talk about what you want and everything. That way, you can get what you want out of the guy because I didn't want her to really get involved in our conversation. Yeah, he gonna see. As a matter of fact, what you can do right now, you can call the people right now and tell them when the guy come up there that y'all need to talk about it and stuff. You can ask the question that you want to ask them. Yeah, because I didn't want to deal with her in all honesty, and I think Trail saw that, So I just when I got there, she said a few things to the guy in Spanish and stuff, and that she translated a couple of things, and I kind of like dealt with the guy by myself. And his English wasn't that great, but I didn't want to deal with her. I didn't want to. It was only one guy. Yeah, and he measured the house and everything and stuff. But like I said, in all honesty, I didn't really want to deal with her. I didn't want her to get involved in what we was talking about and stuff. And she was already talking to the guy when I got there. So she translated a couple of things, and then I took the guy to the kitchen, and then me and him kind of communicated, but still, he wasn't the best. So I gave him your email and told him, he can gave me your phone number. Yeah. Well, he spoke a little bit. Yeah, he spoke a little bit. It wasn't the best, but he was able to tell me some things, And all she asked him about, because when I came in the house, he was talking to me, but it wasn't the best. It was real choppy. But all he was telling me that with the marks on the floor, was he can make the marks better and stuff, and people who were using the floors, putting too much stuff on the floor, using wrong detergent or something like that. And then he said, I know. I think it was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he said he could fix the holes. He said that he acted that. Yeah. But anyway, what I would do if I was you, I don't know if you have time or not, but I would call the company back and tell them that when he get back, that you all need to talk about it. Because I went over a lot of stuff with him and everything, but I wanted to clarify it, and I gave him your email and your phone number because he wanted that. And but my biggest thing was that if he could do that piece out of the store and show us how it's going to look, we can come up and take a look at it. Because he was saying that he didn't want to come all the way back down there, and bring the piece back down, and then we didn't want to do the work and stuff, because that's a long way down the end of the round. I said, yeah, I know, but I told him, I said, sit. To them it is. Okay. Well, apparently, okay, but you tell her what he told me. He said it was a long way. No, I think you should talk to the lady and see if she gonna see what she pull to get the towel and let look at me, mom, let her look at it, and then if something we like to do, then we can deal with it. But we can have the estimate for somebody if you want to. But I think you should just call her and tell her what I told him to do. He can go next door. I told him I know y'all located at. You can go next door and get a piece of towel, marble like he has. Take a sample of it, do it for us, and let us come look at it. That we have to worry about coming down. And if we like it, we'll tell them to come down with the estimate right and have them do the whole house, and then fix the holes and everything. So that's what I told him. So call her and see if that'll work for them, because we can go up there and take a look at it. I don't mind driving and take a look at it, and then we just go from there. Okay? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, he said he'll take it and bring it down and let us look at it. And he said if we like it, he'll go out and do the house. But I was just saying that if he comes down there and bring it to us, and then we send him back and everything, that ain't the way I really want to do it, because I want to take a look at it before he even wasted time coming down and saying, hey, this is where it's going to look, and then we don't like it, and the guy comes down, we got to send it back, but we don't want to do the work. Yeah, it won't take that long to go up there and see that. But listen, what time y'all leaving to go? What time y'all going to? You going somewhere today? No, I can do that. You just let me know. I can grab them for you. Okay, I can do that for you and bring them to you. That ain't no problem. That save you some time. I can just take me 20 minutes to do that. I grab them and bring them to you, and then you have them. You don't have to worry about that. I'll take it up for you. You just go and do what you got to do. Okay, both of them? All three of them? Okay. Okay, I'll grab them. All right. Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey, life always comes first. So I want to show you something on his sworn complaint against me.
This one here?
This one right here. So here's what I want to show you. Right here he says, the petitioner, that will be him, states that the respondent, who would be me, also contacted IA, and the petitioner was advised to obtain an injunction for protection. Oops, I'm sticking to your stuff.
No,
sorry about that. Okay. Now, this was sworn on 2/28, and he swears under penalty of perjury that he's read every statement, and every statement's true and correct. He also says I have a history of clinically diagnosed mental health problems. He says that I'm unstable, and he said I had a mental breakdown. I've never been to a mental health professional in my life. Where did he get that information from? That is a lie. He perjured himself. That's perjury 837.02, Florida law, official proceeding. Also based on this in the police reports, because he gives different statements of what happened in different dates. That's of perjury through conflicting statements. And here is a signed certified copy I got from Detective Aquino. I just wrote this for your benefit. I originally called on 124. Murguido filed the criminal complaint on 215. He filed the restraining order on 228, and the 228 is the restraining order where he says that I contacted IA. And Detective Aquino admits we never talked till 319. How do you know that I contacted IA 2 months before IA ever contacted me? that means he's either lying or he's conspiring with IA. They both can't be true. One of it has to be, unless there's something I'm missing. And when Detective Aquino called me on 3/19, he tried to tell me he was returning my phone call from several days earlier when it was over 2 months. And he had no explanation for why the officer knew that I had contacted IA or why they advised him to file a protection order against me. I feel that this is tampering with the witness. I feel it's retaliation against a witness. I feel it's conspiracy against rights. There's a, like I said, I believe if not that he would get the full amount, but if he got found guilty of everything I think he's guilty of and he got the maximum amounts, he would be serving over 200 years in prison. Actually, I believe Officer Murguido has violated at least 2 federal statutes that actually make him eligible for the death penalty. Don't think he should be put to death, but based on Title 18 United States Code Section 242 and 241, because he caused transpired the events that led me to be kidnapping, deprivation of rights under color of law leading to kidnapping is eligible for the death penalty. This is some stuff I had for the court. You don't have to look at these right now. I never got to turn him into court because he didn't show up for the court. The first 4 of those are 4 of my about 10 witnesses that will testify that I talked to them about the 2009 incidents with Murguido that Murguido was trying to say in 2012. The last of them are just character references from a police officer, a surgeon, some different people that I know. This you also don't need to look at right now, but I took the liberty of highlighting every one of the ethics violations in there that I think Officer Murguido has violated based on his actions.
Ethics violations from
FDLE,
okay.
the ethics requirements. He's sworn to that.
Okay.
This I took the liberty and went through his personnel file from here at Homestead, and that's where I wrote up based on his evaluations, like the problems he's had. Like I said, I originally started because I was concerned for the safety due to his driving. Looking through his records, I find approximately 8 accidents he's been in his police cars and 6 injury reports that have been generated because of him.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Why when all this stuff started, why you didn't just say come to me?
Because I didn't know you. I didn't know I was supposed to come to you. The day after, the major incident happened on 10/29. 10:30, I went to the FBI in downtown Miami to try to file a complaint because I knew that there were federal rights violations. I swore an oath to the Constitution, and I knew there was constitutional right violations. And Miami, or FBI told me that I had to first contact IA and then give IA a week if they had not called me back to call IA, and if I wasn't happy with the progress to go back to the FBI and they would initiate an investigation.
But I mean the FBI was right by telling you to contact IA, but IA worked for me.
Well, sir,
you know what I mean?
Sir, I thought most of this was so minor, so well below you. I assumed that IA was going to deal with this properly and professionally.
Yeah, and that's where you're supposed to be and everything. But I'm saying that this stuff is so deep now. You're going through so much stuff, and the way I'm looking at what you give me and everything, this is from. I mean, I'm quite sure I would do what you do because if I got arrested, I would definitely do the same thing you do.
I've spent over $20,000 defending myself because I asked the man not to run through a stop sign.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, to me.
My attorney, once he filed charges against me, my attorneys told me not to go talk to nobody.
But no, what I'm saying is that if that happened in the beginning and y'all had a confrontation, because I say that because, normally when you have a problem with an employee, you go to his boss. And I had a guy, one of my guys here was going home last week, and somebody in the community flagged him down and told him to slow down. And they got into an argument, and that person got on the phone and called me. The same day, I got a hold of the supervisor and brought that guy in, and I dealt with that right then, and that went away.
If I would have known, I wish I would have done that, sir. Yeah. I've been told so many different things. When I talked to Officer Murguido, he told me not to file a complaint, and he asked me to bring any problems I had to him. I go and I bring matters to him, and then he calls the police. Within about 5 minutes, about 7 or 8 Homestead officers showed up. They held me on my street for over an hour and a half. 12 officers total showed up. And they told me if I had a problem with him, I shouldn't have went to him. I should have went to IA. Well, he's told me to come to him. I go to him. The other officers tell me to go to IA, I go to IA.
Well,
now I'm getting told I shouldn't have done anything. Like I said,
Well, no.
as a citizen, I don't know the
Yeah.
procedure I'm supposed to follow.
But I'm saying the way it works, and just about every place, is when you have a problem with someone, and you know, if you want to come to the police chief, because the police chief is in charge of all the police officers. If you want to come to the police chief, you do go to internal affairs first. Internal affairs brings to the police chief, and then we address the problem and we move on. But apparently, when this got to me, this was almost, it was at a stage where you were getting ready to get arrested, because I heard something about that a while back. But at the time it got to me, it was already too far. But what I'm saying is that usually when people have a problem with the police, you know, they contact the police chief. If they don't contact the police chief, they contact the mayor, one of the city councilmen, or contact the city manager.
Well, I talked to Lieutenant Johnson. I talked to Sergeant Sherman. I had contacted Holly Rashine. She sent a letter on my behalf to Mayor Bateman. I had contacted Senator Marco Rubio. I had went to the Citizens Advisory Committee. I mean, I had done all this stuff before any of this should happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but the person you should have contacted,
I should have come to you first. I didn't know that,
because all people you deal with and everything, ain't nobody do nothing.
You know, typically,
You know what I mean? In all honesty.
what you're saying makes sense. But
Yeah.
as a government employee, we're taught to follow the chain of command.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I wanted to, I could have paid $350 the next day and filed this in federal court and sued them for $100 million. I was trying to deal with this amicably amongst all parties, and I kept trying to go to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, and I feel at every level, people shit on my head.
I know, but I'm the kind of person that, and I've been here for 34 years, been the police chief for 16 years. I was born and raised in Homestead, right on 4th Street, right down the street from Franklin Williamsville. I've been out, and people, and I'll share this with you. I just had 3 of my police officers arrested last year.
Rome, Deegan, and Soto.
For doing some nonsense in the time.
Her Deegan got off, unfortunately.
Well, they got arrested. You know, anybody can get off once you get arrested. You know how that go. But did she do it? Well, yeah, because otherwise, state attorney will put you in jail for nothing, especially a cop.
That's not necessarily true. State's attorney did that to me.
No, I say a cop.
Oh, a cop. Okay, yeah, they don't care about us.
That's a different. Because trust me, they still fight me right now because I did that. You know,
I've read a lot of
Yeah.
negative, not
Yeah.
that you being negative, but haters
Oh, yeah,
being
for
negative
sure.
about you, mainly from the PBA and FOP.
Exactly. You know, and they're gonna do that because you know I arrested our own people.
Yeah.
And cops don't supposed to go to jail. And police chief, if you do that, you know, people want to make it seem like you're the bad guy.
No.
But people said numbers don't lie. Well, videos don't lie either because I got a video of what they did, or what he did really, and I got audio of what she did. But anyway, people can get off stuff, and then my whole thing is right now, you know, if she get off and get her job back, I did my job.
Yeah, because you had no control over what happened after you.
Exactly. That's what I tell guys here. You do your job, and you don't take it personally. You leave it alone.
The rest of it's the jury's job, or the judge's job, or the executioner's job. That makes complete sense.
And that's why I was saying, you know, I believe if you went to the mayor, you went to people and everything, but nobody did anything. But if you got to me, you'd been called my office the next day.
The same day Mayor Bateman got my letter from Holly Rashine is the same day Officer Murguido filed his stuff against me. I mean, that could be coincident. There's 4 or 5 things that happen coincident. It's happened like the same day.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how they operate, but I know how I operate.
The same day that Detective Aquino called me and told me to return my phone call from several days later is the same day Officer Murguido dropped a second deposition. I don't think he went to get the deposition. He knew he was lying. That's my opinion. I can't prove that, but I feel very strongly about that.
It's kind of sad that we're at this point. I wish it would have never happened.
I wish it would have never happened.
I don't know where you're going to go from now because, I mean, even right now, you know, I could bring him in, and I mean, I'm quite sure he hadn't done anything because when I did hear a little bit about that a while back, because I deal with so much stuff I got to deal with, I'm quite sure. Hopefully, you had no problem with him since, but it's been too late now because you already been arrested. And have you had a problem with him since this thing went down? I mean,
last Friday, he drove past my house chirping his siren and gunning his engine.
Okay.
And like I said, he's never driven past my house before, and he was speeding, and there's no need for him to come past my house and gun the engine in first second.
You should have gotten the phone right then.
I got a picture of it. I got a date and timestamp picture of it.
Should have called right away because even though I got a picture of it, that's not enough to.
Well, I called you about 30, 45 minutes after that and left a message to have this meeting with you today.
Oh, okay.
I did call, right?
Oh, okay. Well, good, because I was out of town.
Yeah.
I was out of town. I was in Hawaii.
All right.
I wanna go.
My son was made to the Pro Bowl, so
Oh,
I was
beautiful.
over there.
That's
But when I got back, I saw it. You know, 'cause I think it was the last Thursday, I believe it was. You said you went out meeting with that.
I called Friday.
Yeah.
He drove past me on Friday. I called Friday, and then I called back Monday.
So he came by your house.
He came by my house, and he was gunning, and he's like, "Rah! Chirp, 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 chirp." He kept chirping the siren. I'm like, what the?
Okay, that was last Friday.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm gonna do is let you know right now. See, I can pretty much deal with what happened from this point on.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna bring him in. I'm gonna let him know that the foolishness needs to stop. Okay, point blank. I did that before, because I don't need this kind of foolishness going on. If whatever, I mean, if he going to his house, you can find another way to go to his house, not go by yours, and don't cause no problem with you. That's gonna be told to him today.
Okay.
And because I don't play games like that, and they know I don't. You know, I'm not a politician. You know, I'm in charge of the safety and welfare of the whole city of Homestead.
Yeah.
And I'm sworn under the quote unquote state statute to do my job. I'm not voted in and voted out. You know, like the mayor and the politicians and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the law, and it's a difference between us and them.
Yeah.
But quite naturally, I'm gonna do my job, and I've done it. And when people bring stuff to me, I don't care how minor it is, how serious it is, I'm going to address it. As a matter of fact, and everybody know who I am. You know, I try to do everything the right way, but I don't need anybody being harassed, either way, from the police or from the police harassing them. I don't need anybody treating any different than treat anybody else, because we all have families. And when somebody come and tell me something about something going on here, I'm gonna find out the facts. And if I find the facts and it's true, I'm going to deal with it. And the reason why I'm having such a difficult time now with police officers here, because in the last 2 years, I've got rid of 9 of them. You know?
Oh yeah, I know.
I don't play.
I got a list of a whole bunch of the bad guys.
Well,
Yeah. Including the illegal alien.
Yeah, exactly.
How does somebody even try to do that?
I always think of the positive. There's a lot of good. I mean, I know what you're saying, but there's so many of them cops out there that are so very nice for so many years. So I mean, I don't mean to say
they ruin people. They ruin the good ones like that.
I know,
but no, there's a lot of
all
good.
you gotta do is just have one go bad, and they think the whole department's bad.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is have one bad guy, because the one bad guy does 10 bad things, where the good guy might do one bad thing in his life or something. So it just you're more if you have something bad happen to you by police, it's more likely the 5% of police that are bad, they're going to do it to you, not the 95% are good. And like you said, then nobody trusts the good ones.
The other
and
thing,
it makes the job more dangerous and more difficult, because nobody trusts anybody. Nobody want to feed information. The neighborhood's dangerous because it's not getting properly policed. The policing's dangerous because they don't have the information and intel they need. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not
See, the
good
thing
right.
is, I own 2 properties across the street from his place that I farm trees.
Right.
Then I have another place on 197. I have 2 more places on 193rd. These are right off of Maori. So what happens is Luquitos lives on 202, and we always use Maori. So you wonder why you run into him so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, he's given me like 3 tickets, and I probably needed all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it was wrong. There was only one episode when the trailer was broken, the axle was dragging on the ground, and he made me put that tractor back on and drag the trailer all the way down the street with the axle dragging, and it wore out the axle, and I had to replace it. But that happened a long time ago. But I'm not strong enough, or I'm more of a coward that I could never bring it up to you, because I don't want problems.
I understand.
You know what I mean? I just.
But let me tell you something.
But
the way I work here, we're not as big as the county. We're a small police department. I got 108 guys. I know about each one of them. I know all of them personally. I know how they operate and everything, because most of them I pretty much hired them. But if I find one of my guys retaliating on somebody in this community, he's history. He's out of the door. I don't play that. It's wrong.
You told me that.
There's a couple things I wanted to ask you, sir. Now, if you can verify or document that he lied for employment, do you guys fire people for doing that? I mean, just that alone, forget everything else. I mean,
Matter of fact, that's what happened. That what happened to the one that you said that.
Yeah, I heard that happened to a guy like a week or two
It
ago.
happened to what's his name? Billy Real. That's one.
Villarreal? Okay.
Illegal. That happened to him.
Okay.
And like I said, we only did that because we were looking to something else, and then we found that, and we went back.
Same when they got Rome.
Oh man, these guys unbelievable.
What I don't get is how the guy gets in a DUI and causes an injury. Isn't a DUI leading to a personal injury automatically a felony in Florida, by my understanding?
Yeah, it is. But you know,
you got the union and the lawyers.
Yeah, the union lawyers. I would say people get out of stuff. You know, that's what happened. And I mean, he almost got out of this stuff down here where we got him on camera spraying people and beating up people.
Yeah.
He almost got out of that.
And they try to say the camera's live. No, I follow. Like I said, you know, sir, you know, when this happened, I went home and I wrote down everything I could remember. Mm-hmm. And then I started doing some research. Like, I had this list that night.
Mm-hmm. Let me see that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got to listen. That's just the
ones I could find. And like I said, my Google foo ain't that great, but it was good enough to find like 10 or 11 of them. There's another one I heard, which I've seen in a bunch of different places, but I couldn't really find anything that, in my mind, completely backed it up. But they said something about in 2000 that some officers had went into the homeless shelter and forced women to strip naked for money. But like I said, I didn't really believe that. It didn't seem like it was a credible source.
Whatever. I think about positive things. I don't even. There's so much negative out there.
Where you get this from?
I just generated that. I found all that online. Homestead, police, corruption, dirty cops, corrupt cops, fired cops.
Wow. This is amazing.
I had that in about 30, 45 minutes. I could probably find some more if I went and tried some. And the handwritten stuff on there is what I found out later. I had other friends tell me. I showed them that. They were like, oh, Rome didn't just beat somebody. He also got a DUI. And then I guess Orbaugh, I know that he got in trouble for double billing, but then my maid told me about him hitting the person on the bicycle and killing him.
No, I don't like thinking about it.
And,
I don't.
Let me copy this.
Yeah, you can make a copy of
It's
it.
interesting. It's interesting because everybody on there, I dealt with. Everybody on this list. It's no lie.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's nice.
Yeah. I did my homework on it. Do my homework on. Do my homework on.
He didn't play.
I think we need some trouble.
I think so.
Whose copies are making of that thing? Your copy machine on? Jeez.
What was on it? A bunch of bad stuff?
A list of a bunch of cops that fucked up here. All bad Homestead cops, yeah.
In the last year?
The last like 4 or 5.
Thanks, God. God, I didn't know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gentlemen?
I got to leave out of here.
Albert
about,
Livingston.
I got to leave out of here about.
Dr. McDonough?
I got to leave out of here about 5 minutes to 1. I got another meeting to run to, but I wanted to. This is Detective Aquino, Internal Affairs. This is Dr. Murguido.
Yeah, we spoke on 319.
Yeah, let me have that. I want to keep that because this is interesting. Because I usually don't keep a tab of who I have to spank, but this is interesting. And I was going through I was just going through this.
Now, there was a whole lot more. These are just ones that were like in the last 5 years when I put that together.
That's why.
I mean, like I said, I won't try to find stuff from 30 years ago.
No. I was just curious because.
You got them all right.
Well, because people talk trash and everything, but it's nothing that I went and created. It kind of fell on our lap and we had to deal with it. But people got a problem with that because I do address stuff like that, and I've been doing that since I've been here.
Hey, you get most flack when you're directly over your target.
I know. And it's one here where you had Officer Flynn.
Yeah, I just saw that. Like I said, I didn't see no name, so I didn't see no name on that.
I was Roberson.
That's when he's supposed to chase the guy in the car or something. He thought he was a burglar.
The way I read it online, it seemed like he shot somebody in the back running away.
Yeah,
so I kind of didn't think that was a good thing.
No, that
this
wasn't
one,
the case.
This one.
We know all our shootings.
No, he wasn't.
I don't know what happened.
Shooting.
It's not even
Did it say
shooting.
shooting? Did it say shooting?
Well, didn't it say he shot at a robber or fleeing robber?
No, it just said Homestead Police.
Shoots fleeing
burglar.
No.
Which makes me think that if he's fleeing, he's running. So,
Fleeing burglary.
like I said, I couldn't find a name on that. I just saw that, so I just wrote it down.
2010?
Where'd you get that
No,
from?
yeah, that wasn't Robeson on 2010.
Just
Robeson
research
started
online.
Yeah.
2010.
Well, line.
You know
There was
what?
one time the line said that we had somebody, it was espionage from Russia here. I mean,
Yeah.
someone came to me, I was like, no, everything online is not
Yeah.
actual true,
Yeah, no,
Like,
I understand
what the
that.
hell are you talking about?
Yeah,
Just
so
because it doesn't make online, it's never backed or doubled. Some of the things have in there that we address and deal, but that is maybe the first print, someone's statement, what they said.
Yeah, well, this is just
Or
me.
where
I
it's
just
coming
made that up on, Microsoft Word by just me finding different authors that have been.
Authors, yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
I
like,
said,
mainly
there
from
was
news
someone who
stories.
came and said from a news story that we were working with.
There was one I
Secret
saw
Service of
online,
Russia Embassy, and we're
and
like, what the hell? Are you
There's
talking
one I
about?
saw online, and I found it like 7 or 8 different places, but it seemed weird. There was like no source, like original source for it, and it said something about Homestead Police getting in trouble in 2000 for going to the homeless shelter and forcing women to strip naked for money. But like I said, that seems so crazy. Like
See, we don't.
They were-
But
I didn't believe-
that's right. Media, when you got CNN or open media and professional media person,
Yeah.
I can be someone who was instituted in a mental institution for 4 years and came out, and I think, the whole
Yeah.
country's being run by secondary aliens. And write a bio on the internet, and everyone picks it up, and it goes viral.
Yeah,
Has
exactly.
nothing to be
No.
factual because journalists have to have 3 sources. They're professionals. They can be out front and know who they are.
So
We
Chief,
have
I have
some
to
of
go
those
and deal
things
with
that
that guy
happen, but
Safari
they're
Art
not
next door. He lives with that
what we
van.
deal with.
Yeah, well, like I said,
Painted
I'll
all up
put that
Safari
in.
Art.
I'm looking for
He
it. And if
has
it
his
was
house
real,
right next door.
CNN
The
or
police station.
NBC or
He ran
CNN,
on-
somebody would
we've
have picked
seen
it up.
his-
Like I said,
his
nobody
van.
picked that up.
And
So I
even
didn't-
that's
He got
get it wrong,
arrested
you know?
for
And he's
Because
driving
driving
to
on
Homestead. He's driving to Homestead.
And he
couldn't
works
Homestead,
for me,
Pennsylvania.
doing paintings. So now I have to go bail him.
Yeah.
When you
That's-
get
Just
information.
recently?
Yeah, like
But I-
around 3 days ago. Yeah, but he's
What do we need?
listen.
What are we here for? For our attention? That we're not dealing
Why don't you
with
take care of that
information,
stuff?
or we have
So now I have to
another complaint,
give
or-
$600 out of my visa
Yeah.
to go
What
get him
do
out
you-
of jail
what do you-
because he wouldn't go to court
What?
when he was supposed to. Thanks for listening to me.
Oh,
The reason
But it
here.
hurts my
Why are you
feelings.
here?
Why I'm here?
Spend money
Because of
foolishly.
Detective or
But-
Officer Murguido.
That's where I'm going after.
Okay.
But listen, look.
I want to know what was our complaint
Yeah.
today.
I
Right?
got-
No, we're good. I just want you to just come in because
Oh, okay.
he's already gone over everything with me, but
Oh,
I don't know where it's
okay.
going. But I'm gonna.
You can look through that, and
Yeah.
you got my contact. We can have another meeting.
Yeah, I
if
will.
you want, I can put something together a little bit more for you. Like I said, I didn't know exactly what to give you. I wanted to give you enough so you could see kind of a rough idea of what's
Yeah.
going
I
on
mean-
without like I got office boxes. I mean, I won't come up in here and drop them on your
I know I
desk.
got a pretty good idea what kind of went down. I know where we at and everything, but I don't know where you're going to go with the rest of this because I'm going to take care of my part.
Yeah.
And my part is that I'm going to bring him in and tell him, that he's a cease and desist. Any dealing with you, going to your house or whatever he's done and everything, I'm gonna let him know that today.
Yeah.
And you know, and he know when I tell him that, you know, I'm serious. You won't have no more problem with him after 2-7. Dead to 7, right?
Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
After 2-7.
When you, was this an issue, you weren't the one who went to his home or anything like that?
Yeah, that's me.
And were you arrested?
Yes, I
as
was.
well, and you were taken
Based on
to
his
custody?
false statements.
I understand. What happened to that case?
That's
What
all
was it?
dismissed.
It's all gone and stuff like that. That's the final disposition of that.
Final
case.
disposition dismissed in my favor.
And you're doing this because of that, what happened back then, or because of new stuff now?
Because of all of it. And nothing's happened since.
One thing did when he came by in church last week.
Yeah, October 29th of October 29th of 2012 is when I went and I talked to him and I asked him not to run me off the road. I was concerned for the safety of the children in the neighborhood. I get about 2 blocks
We
away.
dealt with that. I think we had.
No, we never dealt with that. We never dealt with that, sir. That was never dealt with.
Did you call?
I called you in January and left a message. You called me in March telling me you were returning my phone call from several days earlier.
Okay.
I documented the whole conversation. You said that you were documenting it as well, so
Yeah,
I don't know
everything's in
where.
RMS and everything's in our system.
What I'm really curious about is I called Internal Affairs on 124. The officer filed a restraining order against me on 228. In that restraining order, he says that I contacted IA and he was advised to file a protection order against me. On 319, you called me. How did he know that I contacted Internal Affairs before you ever even returned my phone call? I'm not putting this on you. I'm saying, how does he know that? Or is he just
I have to
himself?
look. No, he's not perjuring himself.
So
All the
somebody's-
information that if we had or what he had with you, he as an officer, even living at his home, has a right to call people and do what he wants to do. If he knows that if we call them or contact them, or you might have told him you were contacting them,
I never told him
or
that.
what it may be, he can put down what he feels he's in jeopardy of, and it went through the due process. Obviously, since this has all happened, you had no contact with him.
No, sir. Until last Friday, he drove past my house, gunning his engine and chirping his siren.
Well, you said last Friday.
Last Friday at
What
12:02 p.m.
Okay, 12:02.
Yeah, and he lives on 324 because
He lives on my street.
you know,
like
but it's
4 or 5
like
blocks west of
202 is the main drag. You have to go through like a residential if he wanted to, you know, go west or east and then back out to Maori once he hits, you know, 187.
Okay.
And your name again, sir? I'm sorry.
Dr. James McDonough,
PhD or MD?
Yes, sir. PhD.
Yeah, you know, see, and the reason why.
MC
I'm sorry.
D.O.
D.O.
N.O.U.G.H.
And the reason why I was telling him, Detective Aquino, that, you know, he said that he was told by the FBI when he first went down and everything to contact Internal Affairs, and I was telling him that they told him the right thing to do because Internal Affairs worked for me. But if I said if you would have contacted me when this first started happening, even the first 3 incidents,
Before it got to the point
got to
where
this
they
point,
got.
we would have dealt with it because I told him that we had a school teacher call me because one of our police officers live in what was the name? What's it? Was that
Palm Breeze?
no?
Oh, you're talking about down in Color Ridge.
Yeah, Color Ridge.
Color Ridge.
He called me and said that the officer had a competition with him because he did the same thing. Well, we called him right back the same day and we dealt with that. And brought the officer in and pretty much told him, look, you know, you don't handle it like that. We told him how to deal with it and everything. He know we don't play games and that went away, supposedly. I hadn't heard anything, but I had the supervisors take care of that. But I was just saying that if you would have called me or either called him, even at the first 2 times that went down with Murguido, because this guy nasty him, got to the point where you end up getting yourself arrested. And then
Because he lied.
yeah, but I know, but I'm saying, you know, it just too much stuff happened, and right now it's to the point right now where if you want to pursue this and file suits and everything, you know, this city's gonna have some problems based on what you telling me and what you're showing me.
Oh, yeah.
Because you did some homework.
Based under federal and state statutes, if he got the maximum of every one that I believe he's guilty of, it's over 200 years of statutory violations.
Well, you know it ain't going on.
Yeah, so.
No.
Everyone has a chance in the day of court.
Let me
You're
explain.
saying he's lying,
No.
he's saying you're lying, then it
Let
has
me
to
explain.
be.
Like a third-degree felony up to 5 years in prison. You get charged with a third-degree felony, even if you found guilty. Very few people serve 5 years. I understand that. I was just saying, adding up all the statutes.
Keep, you know,
Well, I can prove a lot. It's not just my word against his.
I know,
on a lot of
I
this.
know, but I'm just saying, I don't know where you want to go with this now, but I can assure you, as of this date, by you coming telling me, because see, he's contacted the mayor, he contacted a lot of people and everything, which was fine. But I was telling them that until they get to me, and you know I'm not just kidding, it ain't nothing gonna happen.
Well, I contacted the Marco Rubio and Holly Rashine and the mayor because I was not getting a return phone call from Internal Affairs. It took over 2 months before you called me back when I called and left a message.
and you are, sir?
He's a
I'm
friend.
Albert Livingston.
Are you
I'm a
in
tree
the same-
farmer. No, I
In
mean,
the same neighborhood, were you
in the
witness to any of this, or just
Well,
a friend
He's a witness to some of it.
oh, just some of it.
What's some?
Some. Well, mainly what it is speeding. Like we live on the same street.
Okay,
And
I'm sorry.
Albert Livingston.
So I know.
I'm the tree
Albert-
farmer in the neighborhood.
Livingston?
Yeah, Livingston.
And also,
And your address, sir?
31501 Southwest 197th Avenue. I have like 4 locations within a mile of there. Another place.
You mean there's where you service?
Well, I own the property where I do tree farms.
Where you do tree
Yeah,
farms, sir.
and then my sister has 5 locations within a mile from that 197 in Maori.
So y'all own the place. Huh?
We have a lot of locations.
And you have a phone number or contact?
Yeah,
number?
305-345-9100.
And your contact, sir? Doctor?
571-245-5410. About 2 weeks before all this went down, my work had called me. They were going to put me through for a top secret security clearance. That seems to have pretty much gone down the shit tubes now because of this officer's actions. So one of the things I was also going to request is if you could write a letter just explaining that after this investigation is done, if you find that you agree with me that everything done against me was false and the officer who did it has been disciplined, because I'm really concerned that this is going to affect my future career.
Well, I don't know how far you're going to go with this, but I can't overrule what a judge do. I can't overrule what the county does. I can only deal with what you're going to do and how I'm going to handle this with him.
Yeah.
And like I said, where I'm at right now, only thing that I have right now on him is he came by your house on last Friday in church. Now this stuff here, this is going to have to be really thought out and proven that he did something wrong probably through a court of law. You see what I'm saying? Because even if we looking at all the stuff and everything, it's his word against your word. You know what I mean? It's a mess. I don't know where it's going to end up at, because I don't know what you put your plans on, what you're going to do and everything. But once you do what you do, and then after everything is done, what you do and everything, then we'll talk about helping you out with your other stuff. Because right now I don't know exactly what went down, other than y'all. It's been a real pissing contest, and it's nasty. I don't like how it look. I wouldn't like going to jail, but I just.
And when I left his house in October, I got about 2 blocks away before he chased me down. He got in his car and was just gunning his engine. I figured he was going to blow past me at like 80 miles an hour and try to rush up here to tell you his story before I got there.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then as soon as he got to me, he slammed on brakes and he's like, "Stop right there. If you leave, I'm going to arrest you." And he's like, "I'm going to show you don't come to a cop's house. I'm going to show you don't fuck with a cop."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What the hell?"
Well, I can't say what his I guess what his reasoning was at the time, but if you would have told me about that and I'm a cop, I would have told you don't go to his house.
But he asked
I
me.
would've told you.
I didn't try to go by his house.
No, I know I wouldn't even go by there regardless.
I wouldn't go by there.
No, because you know what? It ain't gonna end up good.
No.
Because at the end of the day, because he's a sworn officer, people gonna believe him opposed to believing you, unless you got some witnesses there that reputable gonna sit there and say, "Hey, this guy did that." That's your word against his word, and it's kind of sad as that way, because, like I told you, we got a guy on camera got away.
Statute protects officers' homes, and
Yeah,
residence, and
it's-
addresses.
What's that?
Protects officers' homes, addresses. Law enforcement. Maybe be law enforcement,
Yeah.
police officers, federal agents.
What does?
Does a statute that protects their home address. being exposed
Oh,
to
it's just their home
public
address being-
information.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
or go responding to their homes.
See,
Yeah, he's
You know,
a public
because
official, so if I wanted to, I could write up pretty much everything I want to about him and
you can
trash
say
him.
whatever you want,
Yeah.
But I can't put his
expose
address and his
his
phone
address.
number.
Oh.
Yeah.
Please, put on Obama right now. You can see how he's a conspirator and
Yeah.
have the worst thing.
Well, I mean,
City with
this
voting
all
laws.
happened because it was
America.
retaliation
Anyone
for-
can say what they want.
Unless you're Murguido, because what I was saying was speech of public concern, because I was concerned and I was criticizing the performance of his police duties as constitutionally protected activity. Him coming back and chasing me for that is retaliation for freedom of speech.
When you said he
No,
went by on your residence on what day was this? You're saying he chirped. He went by.
Oh, that was
Last Friday.
Friday.
On last Friday, and that date was, just to make sure we got this.
Yeah, I know.
I just want to make sure what it is. The chief
Well-
says he wants addressed because you
Yeah.
had this specific complaint. We have all this recorded, what you have stated. And
Can I
it's
get a
gone
copy
back
of all
and
that?
forth, And when
Or do I just need to fill in a public
a
record
public
request?
records request
Yeah,
on there, and it's
You can
disseminated.
get it all.
You're-
I just see,
Well, what do I ask for to get everything, or I just say the entire file for me?
City clerk.
No, I've done public records requests to the city
Okay.
clerk, but I'm saying, what is it that I'm requesting to get all this that you're talking about? The RMS for me, or?
Well, if you're talking about getting the internal federal investigation, or you want, because you got everything you need, everything you.
I want everything the Homestead Police Department has about me.
Oh.
Everything
Oh,
that he
about
said
you?
to her, everything he said to
okay.
him, everything you wrote down. I want everything I can that you guys have.
Okay.
But I mean, do I need to do a bunch of requests and ask for 50 different things,
You
or?
probably need to do a request and ask for all records and maybe reports that was.
Can I put that attention to you when I put through the public
No,
records request?
it goes to the city clerk's office.
Yeah,
Okay.
City Homestead, it doesn't-
That's sent to police. That's sent to police.
They have to record it, document it,
Mhm.
and then anything that where you could say I want anything with my name on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
On there, including internal affairs
Mhm.
investigation.
Okay.
If it's
I'm
closed,
very
You
neutral. I do like
for your
everybody.
request
I
work.
mean,
If you don't know what to
I've had
ask
some
for,
mishaps
you
with
can't ask the
them,
right thing.
And I,
Correct. And
even
if
when I
it's
was
not-
planting trees, you know, I
because the
worked with a
findings
lot of
of
police,
these, if
and
there's any
they would
open
direct the
with
traffic.
county,
He would turn everybody
you won't
around,
get
stop
anything
you,
that's open.
Yeah.
roadblock.
I understand
But I mean,
So
you
if
know,
it's
he
still
doesn't
open
play.
that
But
they have
listen, I
something
don't want
new, I'll
any
give him a
problems.
call.
I
No,
just,
I know.
you know,
No,
he's like my really good friend.
Yeah, I know, but he's not. He's not going to have no retaliation.
I don't want-
I don't play that, and I
Okay.
let the guys know.
No.
And I want to let them know. They when I say it, it's over.
Okay.
I don't-
But
No,
I
no,
mean,
one thing that I was just really confused about, or like kind of really had me curious, and I want maybe you got so much you probably don't remember. On 4/15, the day I was arrested, you and Albert were talking that same day. He was in Homestead
We were
doing
at
dedication
the villages. I
ceremony.
mentioned something about what was happening. We were just walking up to the pond that time. It was a few months back when they were doing the
Oh,
ribbon
yeah,
cutting.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
remember I said something?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that.
And then you said something that about Metro was taking it over, something like that. I don't retain like him. I'm a tree farmer.
You told me, you said you had a good friend that had some problems. or
Yeah,
something.
with
And I
the
said, yeah,
motorcycle
this was
club.
January
Yeah, it happened
31st.
outside of
Yeah.
the county. I remember.
Are
But
we talking January
Yeah, I know.
31st?
Yeah, that sounds about
Friday?
right. Yeah,
At what time?
12:02 p.m. But like the next day after that, he came by and he told me that he said that you
You
had
were
made
in
some
jail. You went
comments,
to
something
jail.
along the lines that Miami-Dade was so upset with how I was going about my complaint process, they were going to come after me to get me, or something like that.
No. He just said that Metro, I think, was gonna take it over or something like
And I
that.
said that's Metro Dade case, and I said that I think they were the one that had to deal with the what's it
Restraining
called? Restraining
order.
order.
Yeah, because that's what it is. And
They
then
were gonna deal with that.
he was gone.
Yeah, they were gonna deal
They
with
got
that.
you.
Yeah, he was
After-
I think he was already locked up.
No, I got.
you
No, it was the night
you guys
before.
talk. No, I got locked up that night. You guys were
okay.
talking in the afternoon. I got picked up about 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
The next day.
And I said there's a possibility that they're going to come out there and they may have to deal with you on that, whatever it was. But I know it was something you said about it was some kind of this restraining order or something they had on you.
Yeah, this is when he told me that I remember him saying something. It seemed like he was saying something along the lines that it seemed like it came off like Miami-Dade was upset with how I was going with my complaint process, and that was what was
No.
making them wanting to come after me.
No,
Okay.
no, they got to do their job.
Who said
They
that?
can't.
Yeah. My understanding is that
So it was
Chief-
hearsay from somebody else.
from
not
Chief
from the
Rolle to
chief.
Albert.
Yeah.
And we clarified that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand that's not the case.
No. I don't even. I hadn't dealt with them. Only thing I knew is that I think that somebody mentioned me, and maybe Keno told me that he had went and filed a restraining order, and Miami-Dade was going to go and address that with you if they had a restraining order. that's
And have probable cause or
yeah,
whatever
probable
they
cause.
have.
But as
'Cause
far as
that's not in our
them being
jurisdiction.
angry and stuff, you know, they don't know Murguido to be angry with you to not go out and do their job. You know, 'cause we don't work that way, and I'm quite sure I hope they don't work that way either.
Yeah, I just, my understanding is to have probable cause, you have to at least be able to argue that the elements of the crime could have been met.
Well, you know, if they got something, I don't know what their reasoning for doing it, but if they believe that what he said was factual.
But even if you look at what he's saying to be true, if you view it in the light most favorable to him, he says that we talked 2 times, and he says I was criticizing the performance of his behavior, which is constitutionally protected activity, which is excluded from the definition of course of conduct, which is part of the definition of harassment.
Yeah, but you know,
I'm not sure how familiar you are with the stalking statute,
But you
784.048.
got to remember, the A form. I mean, the A form you're telling about it had nothing to do with that.
Constitutionally protected activity is excluded from course of conduct and harassment,
Correct, but
correct?
whatever they,
Yeah, that was-
what they had, I don't have the documents.
Oh, we
I don't want to
have-
go on.
Yeah, we have it right here.
No, reference what happened on the other investigation or what they do. Like, we could sit here and philosophize on what law should mean and then articulate all day long. And we'll be on our six-pack discussing different opinions of what people believe. But that's not what we're here for. I need to focus on, they were here for whatever happened in the past because they did their piecing. My 28 years, people have been arrested, charges dropped, charged, plea, whatever reason, and it has multiple reasons. Whatever they felt that there was the element of the crime, I'm not here to debate or to talk
Yes.
about what Metro-Dade law, legal standards,
Yeah.
or what a case was.
I was just-
I'm
I was
not a
just stating-
judge, I'm not here to say, I have the facts presented and we're gonna have, it is a discussion, but what I'm here as internal affairs is to deal with, why am I here today?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Something here today is that alleging that a complaint that Officer Murguido drove by your residence on last 31st, 2014 on Friday at approximately
12:02 p.m.
at 12:02 p.m. and
Gunning
did
his
what?
engine and chirping his siren repeatedly. I'm assuming he had the Harley down in first or second gear, just gunning it as loud as he could and continuing to chirp.
You're talking Harley, motorcycle. You
Yeah, he was
said
on his motorcycle.
Gunning his.
It's a police motorcycle, right?
And you were there?
No,
or
I wasn't
not?
there.
So you didn't witness that? You don't have no seeing of that? You have
No.
nothing to do with this incident here?
No, it has
that
nothing to do
one,
with
no.
that.
Okay, that's where I'm at.
No.
All the other ones, they want to regurgitate and to see where it is in my case file, and it might have been reflected to what they had. Because we'll take second seat when they're doing an investigation criminally, and we'll find out what the final disposition is. Your cases, you said X, Y, Z, he says this, they filed probable cause to make arrest. Why it wasn't filed or dropped, it is. Now what are we gonna do internally? That's what we're looking at. And then what authority we have to do with him internally. And discipline or discipline
Thank you for your
otherwise.
time.
Oh, no problem. No,
As
no,
you
no.
know, the Constitution from the Supreme Court, state and level, gives officers the rights of officer bill of rights. We have
see
to
my
follow
desk, right?
every 50 states of the
see.
Commonwealth of Puerto
I
Rico.
I wouldn't want to be there.
Has to follow
I want to
those
be on my
rights for
tractor right
officers.
now.
So when
I'm
it
gonna
comes
have
to
to
this
come
due
in,
Stupid and
process,
dumb.
we're no different than any of
I'm gonna have to
the
come in here on the day off.
hundreds of
Just close
thousands
my
of
door
agencies. We're dealing
and
with an
answer
officer or
anything.
complainant.
Because
We-
I can't get
so-
that.
I'm curious. Is there any policy where if an officer has scheduled a deposition, them just canceling it, or them filing complaints and then not going to court and let?
If he has, as a citizen, and he has a deposition, he made something that's off duty, not reflected
Well,
to ours on there.
he made my attorney go through
And
the
so-
court liaison office
And so
here.
that's
to
fine.
discuss that. Okay.
But we still don't govern him. If you get a divorce and you work for us at police department, you might do it through here because once again, your home address is protected from being exposed for anybody serving anything in your home. We'll be a catalyst for to accept your agreement, but that has to do with a civil matter with you and your wife. We have no governance what arguments or problems or litigation you may have with your divorce. Or we have no influence, or the chief has no influence of them, other than if he conducted himself in a proper manner, on or off duty. We have to explain that
So,
too.
Chief,
Now,
just
he
talk
got
to him,
subpoena,
like, late at
whatever
night when
he's done,
coming
and
home
didn't
with
show up
his
to court.
friends, like on a
and what he
motorcycle,
filed
police
as a
motorcycle,
citizen
and they're doing
against
like
you from
65
restraining order
miles
didn't
per
want to
hour
go.
down Maury.
That's up to
headed
him.
east to the house.
I can't make you
Now,
go
I
to
don't
your
know if
house
he's
and
on a call or
go,
what
sir,
he's
you
doing.
made this complaint and
Just-
stuff like
just
that.
say-
You got this charges
Well,
done.
he's headed east.
And
He's
I am
and
going
he's
to
with
arrest you
another
on
partner
one, 'cause
on the
you
motorcycle.
okay.
Like,
That's
you ever
up
see
to you.
Chips?
That's up to you.
I understand
I
that.
have no authority to
and
tell you.
I understand that. I just figured the policies for
down
police, you guys would make
We
me follow.
don't
I
have-
know. I was just
We don't
asking.
govern him
Just
because
if
it's
you
not a
would
police action.
listen, that's
What
my
he had
only
done
thing.
with you
Because listen,
wasn't
if I was
enforced,
doing that, then I
Homestead
would
PD.
have to go to court
What
and
he
pay a
did with
ticket.
him, he lives at his residence and he had a conflict
He
with
clocked
you.
me at 50 miles per hour going over the railroad
civilian
tracks, and I went
freedom
and paid the ticket.
against
Right, I got
civilians.
you.
But okay, and that's all. I'm
And
not,
you
I
have
want you to
whatever
go.
conflict
I'm gonna do it
I want you to have a
and
good
an
day.
independent
Yeah, I appreciate
agency
it.
had their
Yes.
probable
But you
cause.
don't have to say
That's
my
no,
opinion.
That wasn't with
Because
us.
That's
Listen,
the question.
I want to
Now, if he was on-
Let me get it. I'm sorry. I want to go through
That's
this
too
one.
much stuff.
He was gutting his engine,
Yeah.
Harley Davidson.
I'm guessing it's a Harley. It's
Chief,
really
I've been saying
loud.
it from the beginning.
And
It's
did you
too
see
much.
it or you just
Yeah, it is
heard
too
it?
I saw it.
Too much.
I saw him. I saw his face.
Saw
You know, but
his
listen,
face and his
I just
police
want good for this city.
motorcycle.
I
He
don't-
was in his
trust
uniform on his
Like
motorcycle
before I
with the
came
white
to having
helmet
a
on.
Rotary thing tonight at the Harris Field, I went and donated 4 foxtails for the.
And it was definitely that Friday.
That's the
So
stuff
if I
I
find
wanted.
out he was
When,
there
they have,
and he was at
the
Disney World,
thing
It was-
I need to know.
it was-
for King.
it was
I want
last
to set
Friday.
up all the
I have
flowers
to
in
know
the
It was
front.
last Friday.
I want-
he was there.
You know that.
Now, if we throw
that-
the GPS
the energy,
or
I
if
want.
he had something
I
we
want
could
to
say.
It was last
positive.
Friday.
Was it there at 12?
Here.
Where were you? We can
That's-
equivocally
that's what
say what we
I-
can say.
I hear you.
I don't want this.
Yeah, I know. Let me ask you a question. Your house is on the corner?
Yeah, I'm the corner of 199th and
He just stopped at the corner
324.
and just did that.
No,
You
he's
said
coming
church-
past my
the
house and he
churches-
turned in front of my house. I'm the corner of 324th and 199th, so he was coming down 324th and just turned on 199th right in front of my house. But right when he got lined up with the neighbor right behind me, he started just chirping his siren.
just
And then,
stopped- he stopped
I mean, I
right
could
there.
hear the motorcycle coming from a ways down the road,
Right.
but it was just like normal down motorcycle.
Right.
And then right when he got about in line with my property, he started gunning it and chirping the engine. I mean, chirping
Was
the
he
siren.
standing still doing it? Or you just-
No, he was probably riding 30, 35 miles an hour through there. I mean, he was hauling ass. Wah, 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 and just ran up the street. By the time I heard the motorcycle coming from a ways
He
away,
didn't stop, so he just drove by.
he just drove by chirping his siren and revving, like, rah, rah, like revving the engine, like trying to make as much noise.
and speeding through front of your house.
Yeah.
And you saw his face in that
Yes.
vehicle. Okay. Hold on one second. With that thought, I just need to write you a statement for that because we got to deal with this.
Okay.
And exactly what you said. That
You got a
I know the chief
picture?
has to go
Do you have a picture?
Yeah, I got a picture.
of what him.
I mean, it's not a very good picture.
I did-
He got his camera out.
I'm saying, but 35 miles an hour, you take a
He
shot
got
at
him
him
at
right
the
now.
corner.
I told
You must have
maybe
already set up.
he must have been set up there.
You must
on
have
a
kept already
tripod or
set up.
something in front of your house.
No, he has a hand.
No, I was outside my back
Oh, you
porch.
outside?
I work at home. I work from home, so I'm sitting outside.
with this.
Oh, I was, okay, I'm looking at it. I got to run, but I'll be back. I'm going to run and pick up.
You know, if you give me an email, I can email this to you. It's going to take me a minute to find it. I got a bunch of pictures I've taken since then because we had some parties.
But you took it from.
From,
your phone?
I took it from the phone or the tablet at right there in the street. I walked up to the middle of 199th Avenue and I held it up and took a picture. And when he got to the end, so I'm at 324th and 199th. He comes past my house here and turns. I run out to the middle of 199th Avenue. I point north towards him. He's at the stop sign at 320th and 197th, and he's just stayed there for like 2 or 3 minutes.
Did he-
Just to say dead stop for 2 or
Was
3
he a
minutes.
long ways from you? No, not how far was he from you? How far was
It's like
he
2
from you? You took
blocks.
the pictures.
Isn't it?
I was pretty much at the corner of, I was pretty much at 324th and he was at 320th. So it was like the end of the block. Like when you zoom in, you can't tell
I'm
that
gonna
it's
go
him.
get that statement. I'll probably take
Sure.
it out there. The
Yeah.
chief has to leave.
Yeah.
If you can look for the picture, I appreciate it because we can show the integrity now that you have the tablet there, and we can say we saw it today, and we can. And
Yeah,
then
pull
maybe
the-
get
Okay,
that.
okay, yeah.
Well, you're here now
Yeah.
all this time.
I'll
I'm
see
sure
you when I
you
get
can
back.
find a picture.
They're probably going by the time I get back, but I'll see you when I get back.
Okay.
Because I want to ask one question before I leave. Is there anything you need me to do with this you gave me? Because I'm gonna look at all this stuff, and anything you need me to do, I need internal affairs to do with this.
I mean,
stuff
I
you
would
gave
prefer
me.
that he gets fired and loses his law enforcement certification, but I'm assuming you have to do an investigation before that even gets talked about.
Well, most
So
of
that's
the-
what you want, that he be terminated and loses his certificate, is what you want.
Well, you don't have to fire him. I think he shouldn't have his law enforcement certification because he's committed perjury.
If he loses certificate.
He's fine.
Well, that's up to you guys if you fire him.
Well,
I think he should be
well, what I'm
stripped of
saying
the
is that-
certification for lying.
what I'm
That's
saying is that-
part of the qualifications under, was it 943.13, section 4 and 7? Or is it not? It's either 943 or 934. I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Those two always confuse
But
up.
let me ask you this right now, because if you